You pick the movies, you run the show. This is all on you. Here we go.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
You are now listening to Home of Halloween's podcast. This is the horror movie review podcast run and controlled by you, the listeners.
You want to die tonight?
You choose the movies I review. You also get to have your say in the 3-word review.
It's time you fucks contributed something to the cause.
I promise you, you have never heard a podcast like this before, so welcome to the You Run podcast.
Are we having fun now?
No.
Welcome to the You Run podcast. This episode is going to be a wild, weird, crazy ride. So wild and weird, in fact, that I forgot to put some bits in the show. So I'm going to put them in now. So the first thing I'm going to put in is the listener scores. So the movie today is Sharknado, in case you didn't read the title when you clicked on this and you've not seen any of the promotional work going into this episode. So you picked Sharknado. What possessed you to pick Sharknado? I haven't quite worked out, but it's the You Run podcast. You tell me what to do and I just do it. So things I missed is your scores. So you've given your scores for this movie. You scored it 30%. There's a 30% chance someone will like this. And then for fear, you scored this 20%. There's a 20% chance this would scare you. I'm not sure if your scores are right for this, but hey, you score the movies. So I'm going to take them as read. There's a 20% chance this will scare you. Other thing I completely forgot to add into this co-hosted episode was the trailer. So I'm going to play you the trailer for Sharknado, and you can have just a 1-minute taste of the hour and 35 minutes you made me and the co-host suffer. And then you're going to get right into the show. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for picking this movie, I think. And here's the trailer.
Hurricane David is poised to be the first hurricane.
It's a storm. That's what's driven them all up north.
I've never seen so many of them nor so bold.
It's barely even raining.
It's flooding here, and not the plumbing, the ocean.
You need to go home.
I'm not going anywhere.
Storm's coming and it's coming fast. Just can't sit back and watch this.
Tornado's heading towards the airport. We need to destroy it before it gets to them. Watch out!
Can't just wait here and wait for sharks to rain down on us.
We're gonna throw bombs into the tornadoes.
It's too dangerous. Too many of them. We're gonna need a bigger chopper.
Claudia, move!
It's time to leave Kansas, mate.
Welcome to this week's episode where we will be tackling Sharknado. I'm going to be tackling Sharknado with two very special guests, and on my show normally the guests don't appear until later in the show. I've changed that because this movie is so shit that I refuse to do it alone. So I'd like to welcome both of my guests, but my first guest today is Marc from MW Horror Reviews, who you'll know from the finale of season 2, where he tackled Halloween and every other Halloween movie since, and Mr. Bruce Martin from Tonight with Bruce Martin, and also from our Jaws episode back in season 2. So welcome Marc and Bruce to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Happy to be here, man.
I'm thrilled to have you both back, and I apologise that the poll made you watch this incredible movie.
To be honest with you, though, I was worried I was going to have to watch Zombievers again.
So I think we're going to start off with, I've never co-hosted before, so I don't know how this is going to go, but let's give it a try. First thing I want to do, Bruce, I want to get your opinion on this movie. If you could give this movie a summary, how would you round this movie up?
I'm a very simple guy, so I'm going to tell you a crap fest. There's your three-word review. A crap fest. It was, I mean, to even bother to write a summary for this movie, to even take the time to write a summary, you have to like it. I just think it's horrible. I give credit to Mark for doing the research, but me, I'm still seeing somebody on the side just to help me understand what I saw.
Mark, you've watched this how many times now?
I've watched this 3 times in preparation for this episode. Yeah, it was rough, man. It was really rough. The first time I watched it, I actually just drifted off like about 2/3 of the way in and couldn't remember what had actually happened at the end. So I had to go back and watch it again the second evening. And then I've literally just watched it again just before we came on tonight. I say I watched it again. I made it halfway through and then that was it. I was done.
I tried so hard to find something about this that I could go, well, the special effects were shit, the acting was shit, but this was good. And I really tried hard to find that, but I genuinely couldn't. The plot was bad. The story was bad. The acting was diabolical. The special effects were abysmal. The only pro I could find from this is it had the dad from Home Alone.
I'm looking for my son. Do you know where he is?
I liked him in this as well, actually. I don't know whether it was just because he was the best of a bad bunch, but I actually liked his character in this a lot.
I was surprised when he made an appearance in the movie. But then the part where he throws the stool I'm like, at least hit the shark, the fake shark, hit it. He went right past the shark. The fake shark flies somewhere else. I'm like, hit the shark. But you know about what Mark said before, he says he fell asleep like 20 minutes or something like that into the first film. That's what happened to me when I first saw it last 2 years ago. I was like, oh, hell no, I can't do this.
Well, half the reason I turned it off today was because I was genuinely getting a bit worried for myself because I was beginning to be getting on board with it. I was like, I actually think this is quite good. I'm actually feeling this a little bit this time around. And then I was like, nah, that's it. Turn it off. You're done. You're done.
You're done, all right.
The thing is, Mark, you're an advocate, and you've said many, many, many times that if you watch a film, you have to finish the franchise. So are you now going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Oh, 100%. I am more than excited to continue this. I wasn't at first, but then I've been looking into it a little bit, and I think the direction they should have taken this first one in was stupid and just stick with the stupidness of it. But they didn't. They couldn't quite find that balance between balls to the wall daftness and seriousness. And the balance they got between this first film was just wrong. And that's probably why I didn't enjoy it as I was going through it, because I couldn't seem to figure out what direction they were trying to take it. However, I have heard on the grapevine the sequels fully embrace this madness. And at one point in one of them, they go to space, I believe.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly. So I am ready. I am ready to see that shit.
I genuinely don't know what to say. I think what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of us talking about it, because I think it's unanimous, this film is shockingly shit.
Yes.
We should watch it on one of these Zoom calls. We should definitely sit down, watch it live.
Please don't make me watch it again. I've done it 3 times now.
Please don't make me watch it again.
Do you know? I think we might do. I think we might do a watch party, and we'll do it for the opener of season 4. We'll do a watch party, and we'll invite as many people as we can. We'll pick a really bad movie, and we can all just talk shit about it.
Please don't make it do zombie, because I can't do that again. That was awful.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to get this week's 3-word reviews. I asked you for them. You delivered them. This week's 3-word reviews. This week's 3-word reviews is a little bit different. It's not just me. So, Mark, do you want to kick us off? 3-word reviews. Now, I think this is a good time to drop in a little bit of information about Mark. Mark is a movie reviewer. In fact, no, scrap that, that's a lie. Mark is a movie critic. He will take every opportunity to tell you he's not, but he fucking is, and we all know it. And he's an incredibly good critic. His reviews are insightful, they're in depth, he gives easy to understand scores, and he doesn't pull any of his punches. The joy of this is it allows you, as a follower of him, and I do this, to read his reviews and make a decision whether I'm actually going to watch the movie. He will tell you what is good and he will tell you what is shit, but he does it in a very, very professional way. So ignore everything you're going to hear for the rest of this episode, because this is not Mark doing a review. This is Mark talking with two friends about, why are we reviewing this movie? Why did you all pick Sharknado? What the actual fuck? Anyway, Mark at MW Horror Reviews, at MW Horror Reviews on Instagram. That's the man you need to follow. That's the man you need to listen to. His movie reviews as a critic are fabulous.
Yeah, our first 3-word review comes from Miss Cherry Myers, and she has said, this film, pile of shit. Our second 3-word review comes from Jenbug 1982, and she says, pretty much stupid.
I would agree with both of those.
Yeah, 100%.
Bruce, who have you got for us?
Well, the first one I got is Hall Owing Town. So damn dumb. Okay, and then the next one is Horror Zilla 85. Definitely not Jaws.
It's definitely not Jaws.
Speaking of definitely not Jaws, did you guys see that section where she was talking about the scars and stuff like that, and then she went into that whole speech about her granddad, and how much of a rip-off is that from Jaws? When Quint's talking about the USS Indianapolis thing, and she's going that proper iconic Jaws speech, and this film had the audacity to try and rip it off. I was like, oh my God.
I remember that.
When we get to facts, I've got a whole section of like how they tried to rip off, how they tried to like ride the wave of Jaws with this movie.
Yeah, when they're flying in that chopper, and she goes at one point, I think we're going to need a bigger chopper. I was like, no, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Let me tell you something real quick. The part with the girl, what's her name, that was in the helicopter with the son of the main character.
I cannot remember a single name or an actor's name from this film.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? And then
it doesn't matter at all.
She falls out of the helicopter, gets eaten by the shark, somehow survives 20 more minutes of the film inside the mouth of the shark, lands on the ground, comes out of the mouth, survives. Somebody explain that to me, please.
Not only that motherfucker jumped in the shark with a chainsaw, tearing him away, first in, mouth first. If he dove in there with that chainsaw like that, he was cutting her to pieces if she was still laid inside that shark. As soon as it happened, I was just like, fuck this film. No, I'm done. No, I'm out.
Still my favourite, though, is when you're looking at all these, there's horrific storms and everything's going on, and then it cuts to an aerial view, and it's beautiful, glorious sunshine and calm seas. It's
madness, isn't it? And then like all the scenes in the car, every time there was in a car, instead of having like rolling background shots behind them, it was all just white lights. So everything around, like all the glass just looked white. So it was clearly filmed on a set, and they just didn't have the budget to put like a rolling background behind the car or anything. It was just white lights. They did it in the helicopter scenes and stuff as well. And I was like, oh, for God's sake.
Do you think it's that they didn't have the budget, or just that the director and production staff, after the first hour of the film, went, do you know what? I just don't give a shit anymore.
I believe it was intentional. Yeah, the experience on this film, the quality of experience on this film was just mind blowing. This is some of the worst editing I think I've seen on any film. And don't get me wrong, I love sci-fi originals, but I'm talking back in the day sci-fi originals. You remember when we had the like Anaconda rip-off? I think it was called Python or something like that. I don't know if any of you seen it. I had the dude out of Starship Troopers. Is it Starship Troopers, one with the aliens and stuff? It's Starship Troopers, so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Casper or something. He's in one of them films. Anyway, I'm rambling about sci-fi originals here, which is ludicrous as its own right. But I used to love those films back in the day when they came out. But this is just mind-bending that they actually thought this was acceptable to put out to the public.
We are still in 3-word review, so I'm going to round it off with the last two. So the last two.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You can tell me and Bruce aren't professionals in this game.
No, I think I need to point out to our listeners that this episode is not going to be like a normal episode. Not only that, I was out very late last night and consumed very, 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 very much lots of alcohol. And I'm at the point now where I'm just kind of just handing it over to you two. You two run this fucking show. My head hurts.
I think we're all just winging it tonight, to be honest, aren't we?
We're all the co-hosts, so it makes sense. I appreciate that.
So the last two, the first one comes from Danny Biggin, and he's actually given a one-word review. He's given a three-word review, but it's one word. So his three-word review is one word, shit. And the final review is actually from next week's guests, who is Wednesday Wine and Horror. And what Heather has said is Tara Reid boobs. So she has pointed out.
I didn't notice. Is that you guys noticed Tara Reid's boobs in this?
I did, and there's a fact around it as well. So you know when they're in the house and the house is flooded up to like waist depth, but outside there's no water at all and it's all dry.
And the lady who has a shotgun decides to use a chair to defend herself against the shark.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the budget to heat the water.
Right.
The water is ice cold. I reckon Bruce might go and watch this again now.
Let me
I don't
go
think
back
anybody
and
wants
see
to watch
that.
this film.
Let me go watch that again. I might give a better rating.
So yeah, Heather managed to pick out the only highlight in the entire movie, which is Tara Reid's erect nipples.
That must be the only shining quality Tara Reid brings to this film, then, because this is some of the worst acting I've seen her do. This is awful from her. Awful.
Yes.
It's not great, and I'm pretty sure the listeners have got the gist now that this movie's shit, and they're now just here to ride the wave with us.
Oh my God.
and that was this week's three-word reviews. So now the hangover's gone and the alcohol has completely left my system, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who gave three-word reviews for this episode. So that's Miss Cherry Myers, Halloween Town, Gembug 1982, Horrorzilla, Danny Biggin and Wednesday Wine and Horror. A little bit about all of our three-word reviewers this week. So Miss Cherry Myers is a video and reel creator over on Instagram. Halloween Town is a wannabe witch. Gembug 1982 is a horror account. We've got Horrorzilla, who loves beer, horror and collecting DVDs. Sounds pretty fucking good to me. Danny Biggin is a music journalist. And finally, Wednesday Wine and Horror is a fellow podcaster with an incredible podcast show. And that was this week's three-word reviews. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the disaster that is Sharknado. I think it's time for Give Us a Fact. Normally the listeners are giving us a fact, but as I've got co-hosts, I'm going to make them do a little bit of work. And I know they're well prepped and they've gone and investigated and searched the depths of the web for the best facts around. So, Mark, have you got a fact for us?
Yes, I have indeed. I have a fact right here, which I have prepared before this episode started.
It does sound almost like you're reading it from IMDb right now.
No. I'm a professional. I have this stuff under control. Ian Zeringer, Finn Shepherd. By the way, this guy is actually called Finn in this film. I mean, how on the nose can you be? Was unsure about doing this movie until talking to his wife, who insisted that he do the film as they had another child on the way and he needed the work. It really doesn't show.
His main reason for doing it. We've all been there. We've all gone, no, I'm not doing that. And our wives have gone, we need the fucking money. You're going to do it.
I feel like that fact has come out afterwards and everyone's been like, mate, what the fuck have you done? And then all of a sudden he's like, no, my wife made me do it. Honestly, I swear, lads, my wife made me do it.
Oh my God, it's always the wife.
So, Bruce, have you got a fact for us?
I do. And of course, I did my research. So I don't need to look at a phone or anything like that. But this film was shot in 18 days. I made a short film on an app that I found in the Play Store where you buy your stuff for free, and I made it in 2. And it was a lot better.
I'm going to say I'm 100% confident that is a better movie than Sharknado.
Yes. I had sharks in it too, and the sharks looked real.
I need to see that. Send it to me.
Okay, I gotta make it up.
I'm now going to wow you with some of the facts and then some of the fuck ups, and I promise you that the fuck ups far outweigh the facts in this movie. So the facts for this movie. So they shot everything on a because they filmed it in the summer. It was all filmed on glorious sunny days, which doesn't work well for a tornado film. So what they then done is in after editing they had lots of CGI, which is fucking dismal, and they also had huge fans, and they would throw water into the fans to try and make it look like it was bad weather. It was originally shot under the title of Dark Skies, and then you've got some little nods in there to Jaws. So when they put the gas canister in the shark's mouth and blew it up, that was a direct nod to Jaws. There's a director cameo in this as well. So the man guilty of doing this, Anthony C. Ferrante, was the man in the water who was eaten by a shark very early on, I think about 10 minutes in. This goes on to what you said earlier. So Nova's monologue mirrors Quint's to the point that she even says the words, 6 people went into the water, 1 girl got out, and the sharks got the rest.
They took my grandfather. That's why I really hate sharks.
The audacity, man. Fuck.
They then continued this later on with the line, "We're gonna need a bigger chopper." So
I'm glad she got eaten at that point.
It is just it. I think any shark movie tries to pull from Jaws. I think Sharknado was stretching, trying to pull from Jaws, but all of them do. That they all need
It was a desperate attempt.
100%. Now we're going to go on to the fuck up. So let me just prepare my 18 pages of notes. So the fuck ups in this, I could literally rattle them off for days. So I'm going to try and go through as briefly as I can. There is hundreds of clips where you have dry streets in the middle of a tornado, in the middle of a rainstorm. You'll have torrential rain and tornadoes followed by an overhead shot of clear, calm skies and a calm surf. Baz's haircut changes 18 times in this movie. 18 times his hairstyle and haircut changes.
Wow, I thought Bruce said this was filmed in 18 days. What did he do? Have a different wig on every day he went to film it?
So, like, I think it's in the first couple of scenes, he's got one haircut, and then he obviously had his hair cut midway through, but then he styles it differently. But it's not like he's in the middle of like a disaster movie and his hair's just fucking everywhere. It's like 1 minute it's to one side, 1 minute it's to the other side, next minute it's spiked up.
Talk about no budget. No budget. They couldn't even give him a fake wig to fix the hair throughout the
One of my biggest bugbears in the movie is the girl with the shotgun. She racks back that shotgun every 2 seconds, but she never fires it before racking it. So she'll go, and then 2 minutes later she'll go, let's go.
It's the most irrelevant weapon in this whole film. As I said earlier when we was on about the flooding scene and when they get to Tara Reid's house, she has a shotgun in her hand and she picks up a chair to defend herself from a shark. I was like, God.
Wait, the fuck-ups get worse. So, so the helicopter, you remember they get in the helicopter and they fly up into the tornadoes. So they take off in an AS-350 and they crash a Hughes 300. So somewhere in the sky, the helicopter changed brand, make and design.
I did not notice that at all. I think I got to a point, even though I've seen this film 3 times, I think I got to a point where I was like, I'm not even bothered anymore. It's just background noise to me now.
And my final one, which I think is my biggest gripe. So the sharks are in the tornado and they're being spun around and flung everywhere. When they shoot a shark, it drops to the floor like a dead weight, like they've shot down a plane. So when they
That is
hit
literally in
shark,
my notes.
all of a sudden, the wind no longer works on that shark. It just hits the deck.
I literally wrote that in my notes. I was like, it was just before she got eaten, and Finn is shooting one up at the helicopter. I was like, it's fully in the momentum of this whole tornado, and he shoots it, and it just falls. And I'm like, how is that even logical? How does that even make any sense?
Budget.
Fuck this film. Fuck this film.
The
Do you know what really did it for me the most? Do you know what the worst part about it was? Did you see that scene just when Finn gets in that truck and he's like, "Oh yeah, you've got a bad leg" and shit to his mate, and he's like, "I'll do it." And he gets in the truck and he's driving it to the final tornado. And just before he gets out, he gets out the door and then he turns back, gives a little surfer wave, and then jumps out again. I was like, "Fuck you, Finn. Fuck you." Did you guys see that? Did you see it?
Like this, and then he jumped out.
Yeah, but he was about to go out, and it's almost like, "I'm gone," and then he comes back, and he's like,
Yeah.
I was like, "No, not buying it, man."
So we're all hating on this movie. We've given it a lot of shit, and everyone in the 3-word review has ripped it to pieces. Would you believe me if I told you this movie has some 10 out of 10 reviews?
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
No chance. Not buying it.
It does.
I want to know these lunatics and where they live, just so I know they're not in my area.
I'm going to read them. I'm going to start with the most basic, and then I'm going to work my way through to the ones that have really gone in depth as to why they love this movie. So the first one is, this is a genuine review. You can find this. You'll find this online. It's a genuine review. And this is actually from a movie critic. I'm not going to name him because I imagine he's probably already been lost his job for this. But
an actual genuine critic who does this as a professional.
Yeah. So it's not an in-depth review. This is a bullet point that I think they even used in some of their marketing.
He's definitely been paid off.
This is the review. This movie is so amazing, I don't understand why it's hated on so much. They get better. So these next ones, these are not from proper critics. These are fan reviews. So Sharknado, that's what it is. A nado of sharks. Wow. If you have not seen this immensely entertaining joyride, I beg you to give yourself the pleasure of experiencing this work of art. And trust me, I am not being sarcastic in the least. Future generations will look back on this and say, those were the days. This is one of the all-time great movies.
This is going to get cut, but the fact that he said work of art, he deserves a bullet in the kneecap.
Oh, yeah. I would even go higher than the kneecap if I'm honest with you, Bruce. That is fucking worrying.
And I don't know why you said that's getting cut, because that's so not getting cut. I've got two more. I've got one which just drove me mad, and then I've got one that I'm pretty sure you're both just going to go into silence. And then the next one is 21 minutes into this movie, and already a Jaws reference. My friend suggested we watch The Avengers or The Dark Knight, and I said no, we're watching Sharknado. This is the best decision I've ever made in my life. The acting done by Tara Reid is amazing. I feel like I was actually living her shark-filled life story. The amazing CGI gave me nightmares, filled with sharks, tornado, and former adult actress. The movie was directed by Michael Bay's protege. The lens flares were amazing and blinded me with beauty. I truly feel that if someone ever breaks into my home, I will no longer grab a firearm, but I will grab a trusty bar stool, the perfect weapon for any need. Repelling sharks, casual home usage. Never leave home without your trusty bar stool.
I want whatever that guy is smoking. Immediately. That is brilliant. Wow.
And I've got one more, and this is the final one. This was the one that when I read it, I shook my head, And then I read it again and went, did he actually just say that? And then I read it to Lisa, and Lisa went, you can't say that. I was like, well, it's on the internet, so I could say it on the show. It's fine. So are you ready?
I don't know if I am, actually. No, you've built this up, and I'm a bit worried.
I need another drink.
Yeah.
So the final one. Before I am even writing this review, I would like to say this box does not hold enough room to describe how amazing this movie was. The pair of the animation and acting made the movie a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But just wait. You can actually watch 5 more of these movies. Yes, there are 6 Sharknados. I can't even explain how high my serotonin levels were at the end of this superb Sharknado. I am pretty sure if you forced every single depressed kid in the world to watch this movie, they would be cured. Heck, if you forced every kid with cancer in the world to see this movie, they would be cured. That's how good Sharknado is. I would like to walk down the aisles to the sounds of Sharknado in the background. Live, laugh, laugh. Sharknado.
That is absolutely brilliant. In fact, that is one of the best reviews I've ever heard. I'm considering getting that tattooed on my side. That is fantastic.
What
a
live,
guy!
Live, laugh, love Sharknado.
Yeah, literally, I'm going to get that tattooed somewhere on my body. Can you actually imagine? How can he possibly say this film could cure cancer in children?
You just canceled yourself, pal.
I would like to reiterate that those are not my words, and for no second at all do I endorse that Sharknado may cure depression or cancer, because I'm pretty sure it won't.
Yes, but you can't say for a fact that it won't. This hasn't been proven or tested. So if you are suffering with depression, please watch Sharknado and let us know how you get on.
Oh my God, I don't know. I got no comment on that. I mean, like, it's this is what's wrong with the country, right there. All countries, okay?
That review wasn't by a guy called Bruce Martin, was it, by any chance?
It's there, but that's not the one.
That's one thing that I've not actually shared on this season yet. So I've been, every movie I'm reviewing on the show now, I'm also giving an IMDb review, which I've not done before, but I want to do it so I can kind of get my thoughts out to other people who don't listen to the show.
Instead of letting live sharks rain down on people, we're going to get in that chopper and throw bombs into the tornadoes.
We've reached that time in the show, so you have both done a quiz on this show before.
Oh, okay.
you both finished very high in that quiz, a champion and a runner-up.
Yeah, you say it runner-up and it still hurts.
It's hilarious how we're all here. He had how many points, Mark?
12.
14. 12.
13. 14.
Yeah,
14.
12. Mark was 12. You were 13, Bruce, and I was 14.
Unbelievable.
Still feel like I need a chance to redeem myself. I know we did that live. We don't like to talk about it, do we, Bruce? We know we did the live thing. But...
I deleted that video.
For anyone who's listening now who doesn't know what we're talking about, we done a live quiz on Instagram. It's available if you go to my Instagram and go and click on my videos. You can watch Mark versus Bruce in a live quiz. It was slightly one-sided, shall we say, Bruce?
Yeah. It's also I posted it on my YouTube too, so you could get more viewers yourself.
I'm so glad Bruce brought up his YouTube channel. Now's a good time for me to tell you a bit about Bruce, because I told you about Mark earlier and now it's Bruce's turn. So Bruce, amongst being an incredible guy and doing loads of stuff on Instagram, Bruce hosts his own show. And I don't think Bruce pushes his own show enough, and I don't know why, because his show is fantastic. There is nothing else like Bruce's show anywhere. Unless you're going to watch something on TV that's riddled with adverts. There's nothing like it. So I'll give you a little bit of information about Bruce's show. So it's Tonight with Bruce Martin on YouTube. Bruce will open up the show. He's going to give you some news. He's going to give you some of his opinions and just general have a bit of a chat with you. After that, Bruce is going to go into a movie review, and he reviews some incredible movies on there as well. He'll have a guest. He has live performances, multiple live performances on certain episodes. And the show is so entertaining, so well constructed, and Bruce puts so much work into it. So go to YouTube, Tonight with Bruce Martin. That's Tonight with Bruce Martin. Little red box says subscribe. Hit that. Bruce will love you for it, and I will love you for it. And he deserves all the love in the world because he's such a good guy and has got such a great show. Are you both ready to take on a quiz again?
Yes.
Let's do it.
This time you're working as a team.
He's
No,
gonna
we
kick
got
my
this.
ass.
We got this, bro.
I'm
We're as a team. We're a team now, man. There is
Oh,
no
yeah, I
animosity.
forgot.
We're together. We're together in this.
Oh yeah. So if we lose, it's my fault.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If this goes south, then this is all on you.
This will be the last time you speak to me.
Let's do it then. Let's play Purge or Play. You are now entering the Purge or Play arena. The quiz for Home of Halloween's You Run podcast. The question is, will you purge or will you play? Okay, so welcome to this week's Purge or Play. Purge or Play is a new game for this season. The rules are very simple. There's 10 horror-based questions. They start off incredibly easy and they get harder as we go through. For every correct answer, you get 5 points. If you get it wrong, you get no points. But you've got 3 purges which act as passes. So you can purge a question, not have to answer it, and still get 2 points for that question. But you've only got 3 of those and they get harder. Hang on to them as long as you can. I'm going to ask you the first question. You're going to have a little bit of time to confer with each other and discuss what you think the answer is. And then we're going to work our way through and see how you do. One thing that's different is I'm going to tell you what your score is, but I'm not going to tell you how you fared against other people. I'm going to release a leaderboard once a week on Instagram where you can see where you sit. We're going to get it underway. So question number 1. What film have we been discussing today?
Oh, this is a tough one. Can we have a minute to just discuss it between ourselves? Bruce, have you got any sort of insight on what we've
I've lost complete. My mindset is gone.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I actually wish this was a reality where we actually had no idea about the film we've been watching today. Go on, Bruce, you answer this one. I'll let you take it away.
Jaws. Now Sharknado.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to
Good job he isn't going to take your first answer.
Sharknado.
Okay, so we're off to a flying start. That's 5 points. Question number 2. What state is the Amityville Horror 1979 set?
Can we have a minute?
To be honest, I don't actually know.
I think it's Connecticut. I'm not sure.
Well,
you're the American, so I feel like you're in a stronger position to answer this question than I am.
I think it's Connecticut, but
you can either take a guess or you can use one of your purges, and you can still get points for the question.
I think we can be the heroes that this podcast needs, and we can get to the end without using a purge. But if we get it wrong, that's embarrassing.
You really want to use it now?
No, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it at all. I want to get right through to the end without using it altogether.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say Connecticut.
How confident are you? What? Oh, you've said it. You've said it now. That's it. You've locked in.
That was incorrect. Bruce, you are going to kick yourself so hard, so hard. New York.
And you call yourself a New Yorker, Bruce Martin.
What everyone can't see now is Bruce has just picked up a hammer and gone to recreate a scene from Child's Play. He's smashed himself with a hammer. Question number 3. What is the name of the camp in Sleepaway Camp?
Oh, I actually don't know the answer to this.
Hold on.
Sleepaway camp. Well, obviously no sleepaway camp.
What's the name of the camp, he said, right?
Yeah. What is the name of the camp? I honestly don't know, Bruce. Do you have any idea?
I got a name, but I don't know if it's right. I'm afraid to say it.
Go for it. Wing it. What you got?
Transgender killer camp?
No.
I'm guessing you haven't seen the film either.
It was Camp Arawak. The next
My
question.
apologies. My apologies. That's what I read.
Don't forget, you've still got purges. You don't need to answer if you don't know them. Use a purge. So,
Okay, I'm gonna let.
You said it gets harder though. We're only 3 questions in and we're already failing massively.
Question number 4. In Halloween 2, it is revealed that Michael Myers is Laurie's what?
Sister. Brother, obviously. Sorry. Yeah, that process a little bit slower than it should have done.
Is that your answer?
I'll comply with Bruce first. Bruce, what do you think? You've seen Halloween 2?
I have, and I agree with you.
Yes.
We're going to say
Michael
brother.
Myers is Laurie Strode's brother in Halloween 2.
That's correct. So you're on 10 points. So question number 5. In The Shining, what room number does Danny find the ghost of the naked woman?
We need like 30 seconds.
You could use a purge.
Right, hold on, because this is an iconic horror number, and I see it pop up in horror films all the time, and I'm always like, oh, that's a reference to The Shining, and now my mind has gone completely blank, and I don't know the number.
I got the answer, but can I just have a word with Mark before we confirm the answer?
Well,
you in Google, Bruce?
237.
It is 237. That is what we said. 237. Bruce, you
I'm not Googling nothing. I'm not Googling nothing. I have something in my eyes, so I'm like this.
I'm going to allow that, and then Bruce, I'm going to get you to put your phone on the shelf behind you, where your alcohol is.
Look, Bruce, you're going to give us a bad name if you carry on with that kind of behaviour.
I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of cheating going on there, but I cannot confirm because it happened off camera. So, question number 6. In Children of the Corn, what age do the cult consider adulthood?
Where the hell are you getting these questions from, by the way?
A
Did
lot
you get
of
a point for that last one or no?
Right, Children of the Corn.
What, for the one you cheated on?
I said 217. I didn't say 237. That was Mark.
I just agreed with whatever you said.
Yeah, he said 237. Rewind it.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say that you didn't cheat because I believe you're honest people, so I'm going to give you the points for that one. But question number 6.
There'll be an uproar on Instagram afterwards, and we'll get demoted. Don't worry, Bruce, it's fine. We know where we stand.
Number 6. In Children of the Corn, what age do the cult consider adulthood? You've still got 3 purges. You've not used any purges yet.
Right, I haven't seen Children of the Corn.
Let's use one.
Yeah, I mean, I know Children of the Corn. I've seen what it is, but I couldn't possibly know the answer to that question.
You're going to use
I think we should use a purge. Yep.
Yep.
We're just embarrassing ourselves now, so we need to use it.
Okay. You get 2 points for that, and the answer was 18.
I was expecting something stupid like 11 or.
Yeah, exactly. I was like.
Yeah, I was like.
So, question number 7, and this, Bruce, you should know the answer as you were on this episode. In Jaws, why does Hooper go in the shark cage?
Why?
Why?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Well, he's a researcher, so he's going down there, but before he sees the loose head. But, he's down there.
I'm going to let you 2 confirm before you say
Hold
something.
on. Mark, you've seen it too, right? He's down there.
But a long time ago. I couldn't tell you. I don't even think I can even remember the scene where he goes down in the shark cage. Don't pick up the phone. That's cheating. We're not about that cheating life. We can do it. We can do it.
I'm on this little thing here. No, I'm just.
You've watched this recently. You've watched this more recently than I have, so you should know the answer.
No, he's down there looking for the son of a bitch.
Well, let's backtrack the situation. Jaws, big shark. Why is he going down in a shark cage? Has the shark done something in order for him to be going down in the shark cage in the first place?
He's gonna find out why did the shark what kind of size was the shark, pretty much.
Is that your answer? Right?
We're locking it in. He's going to find out how big the shark is.
It wasn't. It was to try and spear the shark in the mouth so they could hook it.
Bruce, man. Bruce. You watched this.
We had a good
ago.
friendship. The friendship lasted for how long?
You're still doing well. So what have you got? You got 5, 10, 50. You've got 17 points, and you've got 3 questions to go, and you've still got.
Right, we need this.
So
Come on.
question number 8. To date, what is the highest grossing Stephen King movie adaptation?
Right.
Mark?
So
It has to be Jaws.
Jaws. Jaws isn't the Stephen King, is it?
No, Stephen King.
Oh,
Yeah,
Stephen
Jaws isn't
King.
Stephen King.
Yeah,
Oh,
Steven
you said Steven
Spielberg.
Spielberg. Okay, no more of these. No more.
Yes, please put the alcohol down and let's take this quiz seriously, please, Bruce.
I would say Pet Cemetery. No. I'm not saying the answer yet, but I'm talking.
I was going to say, don't lock this in because Scott's being very militant tonight.
We
so
do not
don't tell
see-
it to Scott.
Yeah. But I'm thinking Pet Cemetery.
But what we got? We've got Carrie, got It,
Oh my God.
got Pet Cemetery.
Wait a minute. We're on 8, right? And out of 10 questions, let's get a Purge.
Hold on, because we can logically work this out, I think. So repeat the question again, Scott. We've got what?
To date, what is the highest grossing Stephen King movie adaptation?
I think it's It 100%. I don't know whether it's chapter 1 or chapter 2, but I think the remake of It is 100% going to be the highest grossing, I would have said.
I'm going to make you pick a chapter.
You're going to make... Oh, see why? He's been real nasty tonight, isn't he? I'm going to go chapter 1. I'm going to go chapter 1 because I think it was a big hype around that coming out and it was phenomenal. And then there was quite a lot of negative reviews surrounding chapter 2 when that came out. So I don't think many people will have turned out to it as much as they did the first. So I'm going to... Chapter 1. Bruce, you happy with me speaking chapter 1?
I'm with you on that. 100%.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1, let's do it.
5 points.
Yay!
The last 2 and the hardest 2 questions. You've got 2 pages left, so worst case scenario, you can still get 4 points across these 2 questions.
Let's do it without the purge.
The movie A Quiet Place was originally intended to be a sequel of what existing horror movie?
I just saw both of them. Oh my God.
The Quiet Place.
That's with Olivia. No, not Olivia. Olivia Wilde? I think Olivia Wilde.
No. It's the dude out of The Office.
John Krasinski.
Yes,
He
and
directed
his wife.
the first one and the second one.
He did, yeah. Now, a process of elimination, Bird Box came out before it. If I was to pick anything, I would say Bird Box, and I would say that this was a pen sequel for Bird Box, but I'm not in a position to risk it at this stage. I can't think of anything else that it would sequel to that the story would sort of correlate with that would make sense.
So are you going to take a stab at it, or are you going to use a purge?
I'm going to be really pissed off if it's Bird Box and I've used a purge. What do you think? What's your thoughts, Bruce?
I'm going to go with the professional here, and that's Mark. And I'm not going to touch this one. I'm going to let him make that decision.
That's really cruel of you to just pin this all on me. I mean, it's 2 points in it. We're here for a laugh. I'll take the punt. Bird Box. I'm locking it in.
It's incorrect. And as soon as I say it, you're going to understand how it would tie in. It was originally intended to be a sequel to Cloverfield.
Oh, that would have been epic as well.
Well, that was a good movie too. I remember seeing that.
What are you on now? You're on 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 points, and you're on your final question. This is the hardest question, and it's one of those you're either going to know it or you're not going to know it. How much did Tara Reid get paid for her part in the original Sharknado?
2013. The movie cost $1 million. I remember seeing another amount on the.
I can't imagine she got paid a lot if it's.
She got paid more. She got paid more than Finn.
Yeah, but Finn. Yeah, we don't need to get into that
I would have done this movie for this much money, quite happily, and I would have advertised it saying it was the greatest thing ever if they paid me as much money as they paid Tara Reid.
Can you tell us what the budget was for this film? Because I don't know actually what the budget was.
$1 million. But I think she got paid more. You've still got 2 purges, so you can purge it.
We might as well just purge it just for the sake of the 2 points. We've embarrassed ourselves massively tonight.
Go for it. I think it was more.
You're going to use your
she
final
can't get paid
purge?
more than the budget, surely.
You're going to use your final purge?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that puts you on 24 points.
What was the answer?
I'm going to give you that in a second.
Oh, my bad.
You've got one purge left, and that purge is now worth 3 points to you because you saved it. So you've got 24, 25, 27. So you finished on 27 points. And Tara Reid got paid the ridiculous sum of $125,000 for the 4 days she spent on set.
Oh,
that is criminal. That is criminal. Absolutely criminal. She was so bad in this film, honestly.
4 days of work?
There were points where it looked like she'd filmed her section separately to everybody else, and then they edited it in afterwards. It was weird. It was a weird transition when she spoke, because it just panned away. She'd say something, it panned back to everybody else in a completely different scenery and setting.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you scored 27. I'm not going to tell you where you've come. There will be after every episode where the guest goes out, there'll be a leaderboard that will come up, and you will see exactly where you are on the leaderboard. All I'm going to say is it's a respectable score.
Yeah, you saying it's respectable, that already immediately makes me think it's not very good. In our defense, I think me and Bruce are slightly drunk at this point, so I think we'll take that. We'll take respectable.
That's not fair. I mean, in a way, you should have said no drinking allowed in this episode. We would have done way better than the previous guest or the next guest.
You're in amongst them. That's all I'm going to say. You're definitely in amongst them. And that was this week's Purge or Play.
By the way, I'm not a stripper.
We're now going to wrap this up with a couple of final thoughts. I'm going to let Bruce kick it off. Final thoughts on Sharknado and who should see it and who shouldn't see it?
I think nobody should see it. And also, because Mark brought up the fact that he's going to do the rest of the films, watch the rest of the films, I'm going to just try to watch part 2 just to see like what the difference is and what they changed compared to the first one. I hate the film. I hate the whole film. One day I'm going to be on my show and I'm going to say, there's no review because it sucks. But at the same time, like, I think I'm gonna give it a try when I'm at work, whenever, one of these days. Just watch it, and then I'll probably tag you guys and see what you guys think about it.
Yeah, you watching the first one, you sent us a couple of reaction videos to you watching it. You sent a reaction video when the carousel was rolling through, and they done their sort of almost bit of a piss take of the Temple of Doom, where people were running and diving on the floor, and then it hits the building and does no damage.
What is that? I work on the first floor. I almost jumped out the first floor window. What's that?
It's so funny. God. I've seen it enough times now as well. Like, if you actually watch that scene overlay when the building actually hits, the Ferris wheel actually hits the building, it is some of the most shocking thing I've ever seen. It doesn't even inlay or fold over well. You can see the computer failing at the graphics as it's going in. It's so bad, honestly. It's so bad, man.
Can you imagine being like the visual effects director on this, and then bringing you what they shot in the beautiful, glorious sunshine of LA, and gone, can you make this look like it's a tornado? He must have sat there and gone, no, I fucking can't.
I would really like to know if he turned up for the premiere of this and was like stood there surrounded by his peers and was like, yeah, I did a good job here. This film looks incredible.
I think I'm actually going to go and find out what else that visual effects director's done. I'm probably going to click on it. He's going to probably have done something ridiculous, like he was a visual effects specialist for
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Mark, what are your thoughts on this? Final thoughts on this movie, and who should see it?
I think everybody should see this film. It's probably one of the greatest films I think I've ever seen. Certainly a visual masterpiece. Something that should be seen by everybody and taken into appreciation. Oh, sorry, you was actually wanting a serious response from me. No, this film is fucking shit. Please save yourself the hour and a half that it takes to get through this. Did you get to the end, by the way, with the credits, and then they had their own theme song, and it was like an actual Sharknado-based rock song that they had playing over the credits? Or was you already checked out by that point? Oh man, Literally go back, fast forward it to the credits, listen to the song playing. That's over the credits. It's like some rappy American rock song over the top of the credits, rapping about the Sharknado. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. For that reason alone, watch it and listen to the song afterwards.
I'm going to find that and I'm going to add that to a clip of that to the episode.
Oh my God.
For review purposes only, no copyright infringement is intended, but I will add that onto the show so everyone can hear a bit of that wonderful music at the end, because I didn't hear it.
It's lyrical genius. It's absolutely amazing how they could take the film that they watched and then turn it into a song. Is absolutely mind-blowing. In fact, you know what? It's the most interesting part of the film, if I'm honest with you. Never mind the film. Fast forward, watch the credits, listen to the song.
I said I'd add it to the episode. Here it is.
Go, 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 go. Run away from the Sharknado. It's your greatest foe. Don't want to get eaten by Sharknado.
Mark said it was the best bit of the movie, and I'm inclined to agree. That is a tiny clip of that, and you need go to YouTube, go anywhere you can find this. It's called The Ballad of Sharknado, and it's by a band called Quint, which ties into another Jaws fact, because Quint is one of the main characters in Jaws. So go and find it. Go and enjoy the rest of that song, because the whole song, the lyrics are fantastic. Go and do it. I think it needs to be seen, but it needs to be seen only to see how bad it is. This is one of those movies that had the potential to be so bad it's good, but it didn't get to the good bit. It's so bad, and you need to watch it to appreciate how bad the CGI is, how bad the acting is, how bad the visual effects, even the practical effects are shockingly shit. There's a rubber shark at one point that my kids have got toys that look more realistic than that rubber shark. It's so bad. And that's the only reason you should ever watch this film, just to see how this is a good example of how not to make a fucking movie. And it's almost like a step-by-step guide. Pick bad actors, pick poor sets, pick bad visual effects with a low budget, and just throw it all together. Don't worry about editing and release it. And that's exactly what they've done. All that being said, Sharknado made a fucking fortune.
I can imagine it did, to be fair, because it was a big thing. I mean, I've never seen it up until the point of it being picked for this episode, but I'd never seen it before, but I knew of it, and I knew many people who had seen it and appreciated it, surprisingly enough.
Finding out how much money this film made is really hard. It's not public or very public information. From what I can work out, the initial Sharknado had a budget of $1 million and made almost $7 million, which if you put that in comparison to some other horror movies that are bigger named and have got better effects and better acting and better directing, and it still made good money. And that's why there's 5 more.
Well, yeah, if you tell a studio you're going to make 7 times your budget that you're providing for us, then everyone's going to snap your hand off at least, surely.
Here, think about it for a second. Rocky came out in 1976, one of the greatest films of all time. Rocky only cost $900,000 to make, grossed over millions. You got $1 million here to do something in 2013 when it came out, and you fuck it up. Think about that for a second. He only had $900,000. His mindset, and whoever got the $1 million, I guess they waste all the money on the actors.
Well, they certainly didn't spend it in visual and practical effects. That is a fact.
Right. And they did.
Back to what you said earlier about the practical effects. Did you see that scene early on in the beach with the beach attack? Did you see that guy who was supposedly had his leg amputated when it was very clear that just dug a hole in the sand, put his leg in it, and just sprayed some blood on it? And it was like trying to pretend that he had his leg amputated.
Finn comes and goes like, yeah.
When he hits a shark with a surfboard, and he's like, look, do you know what? This film is fucking shit. It is awful, but look at how much fun we've had talking about this tonight. Like, everybody should go and watch it for that reason alone.
Yes.
Especially with a group of mates. Get a group of you together, sit around, have a few beers, watch it, and
Just
you will
shit
just
on it.
laugh. You will just laugh your ass off for the rest of the film because it's great.
Yeah.
You definitely will, and I think now you've reached the point where you're almost promoting and pushing this movie, and I think you might be on a retainer from Sharknado, as there is another one apparently in the works.
I'm on medication right now, so
yeah.
I said I'm my third watch in now, so I'm on board now. That's it. I'm committed to where we're going with this direction of film, and I'm ready for Sharknado too.
Well, you enjoy that spiritual journey, and just let us know how you get on with that, because I'm not joining you. And before we go, Mark, I want you to tell everyone, obviously, where they can find you and what you do, and a little bit about yourself as well, because you've been on the show before, but we were reviewing Halloween, and Halloween took centre stage, whereas as far as I'm concerned, Sharknado can take the fucking backseat it can get, and this is more about you and Bruce. So fire away. This is your advertising spot. Tell us all about you, Mark. What do you do?
Well, to be honest, I don't do a great deal. I watch films and then talk about them the best way I can. I mean, I don't claim to be a critic or a professional, but I watch a film, I take notes, I try and paragraph it the best way I can, and then hope everybody else who follows me has seen the film and comments on it so we can talk about it together. That's the main reason I do it more than any. It's just so everybody gets in touch and comments below and tells me what they thought of the film and what they thought of my take on the film, and then we can just discuss it as fans, really. I mean, as probably most of you know, being a horror fan yourself and stuff like that, it's difficult to find like-minded folk in real life who have such a sadistic sort of sense of enjoyment as we do. So we go to the net to sort of find those people. So yeah, so if you're of a similar nature and you like to talk horror, head over to my page at MW Horror Reviews and let's talk the shit together.
Find Mark over at MW Horror Reviews on Instagram. Find him, read some of his reviews. He really does. Unlike this show today, he really does review a movie in depth, and he actually gives you some facts about it and talks about it, and he doesn't just go, this movie is fucking shit. His reviews are much better than that. Bruce, where can we all find you?
Can I give you the breaking news and the major announcement first, or should I just tell you where you can reach me?
Fire away. What have you got?
Well, it's been planned for a while, but I wanted to announce it here, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be on board. If you're not, then you're going to say, "Oh, fuck that." But I would like to announce on your show that I'm officially inviting you and Mark, Scott and Mark, to join me on the season finale of my show as co-host with me.
Oh wow! I'm 100% down. Where do I sign?
Let me fax you the paper.
There.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm honoured. Thank you very much. That's the first I'm hearing as well. This wasn't pre-announced or pre-questioned before we came on the show. So yeah, thanks, Bruce. I would love to.
It's going to be announced on his show. So when he releases this, and that's when the big news is going to come out. But also we're going to be reviewing a horror movie also. So
yes, something I'm always on board for. Say what the movie is yet?
No, because my first episode comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, so the thing is, when this comes out, your first episode will have been out for 3 weeks.
So your episode's already out by this point.
Did you guys see it? How did it do?
Well, with 3 weeks, I think it done really well. It done really well. You had a fantastic guest on that episode.
Did you see it, Mark?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was phenomenal. Probably one of the most groundbreaking things I've ever seen. So everybody who's listening, if you haven't seen it yet, please head over to YouTube and check out Bruce Martin. Phenomenal episode.
Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's Martin.
Oh, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Yeah. Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott.
And that ties in nicely to Bruce. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at officialbruce34, YouTube at Tonight with Bruce Martin.
And then on your own name.
Facebook on Bruce Martin on Facebook. I got 2 pages up there. And on Twitter, officialbruce25.
There we go. And I think that's a good place to call it a wrap for the show. So Thank you very much, Marc and Bruce, for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this slightly out there, a little bit strange. I mean, this was What the Fuck Did We Just Watch Week? And I think this episode perfectly reflects that, because you're now going, what the fuck have I just listened to? Welcome to the You Run podcast. Next week, we have another incredible guest on. We're joined by Heather Silman from Wednesday Wine and Horror. She's going to take on Purge or Play. She's also going to shoot the shit and rip to pieces the Blair Witch Project and her wonderful thoughts on camping. As any of you who follow or have ever heard Heather speak about anything, she loves camping with a passion. The passion being that she would kill anyone who tried to make her go camping. So that's next week. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you very much, Marc, for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure as always, Scott.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for having both of you back. It's been fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
In the words of Gordon Ramsay, Sharknado, done. I don't ever want to talk about Sharknado again. That is going to be pushed to the back of my memory and forgotten about. A huge thank you to Bruce and Marc for coming on and co-hosting this episode with me. I know you will have heard throughout this episode that there was some audio issues, and that was on my microphone. That microphone has now been smashed and put in the bin, and I have a new one that has arrived, so that will not happen on future episodes. And I apologise and thank you for powering through the ups and downs of my voice. Huge announcement from Bruce. Me and Marc are going to go on the season finale of Tonight with Bruce Martin. If Bruce had any idea how long this episode took to edit, there's no fucking way he would have had us on. But it's tough now because it's out there. Everyone knows. So Bruce, you can't back out now. We're coming on your show. Next week, we have got a fan favourite returning to the You Run podcast. Next week, Heather Silman is back. Heather Silman, the host of Wednesday Wine and Horror and co-host of the Graveyard Shift pod. She is back on our show, and I am so excited. If you've not heard Heather on our show or any other show before, go back to season 2, check out the Evil Dead 2 episode, and that will give you just a taste of how much Heather is going to rant and rave next week. Next week, it's Camping Sucks. And Heather loves camping. What can I say? That's next week. Be sure to tune in because it's definitely an episode you do not want to miss. Thank you all very much for listening. Don't forget, recommend us to a friend. If you like this show, just nudge one person and go listen to that show because that will help us so much. Thank you very much again for listening. Thank you again to Bruce and Marc, and I will catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast.
You've done your job well and Mommy is pleased.
Don't forget you can get involved in the show in so many ways.
Truly.
The 3-word review.
He's insane now.
Give the show a call. Anchor.fm/Home of Halloween. Leave us a voicemail and get a play on the air.
Beers to the left of me, beers to the right of me, let's do it.
Not to mention, give us a fact.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
This is the You Run podcast because you run the show.
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
If you enjoy the show, leave us a review wherever you can.
This is God.
Or reach out to us direct and send us a DM.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
You want to die tonight?